Hey everybody, welcome into Rock Painting 101. Today we are answering a question I see in groups over and over again. Should you base coat your rocks? So base coating rocks, should you base coat? Should you not base coat? What should you use to base coat? Like all these questions pop up in rock painting groups all of the time. And while I have shown numerous ways that you can base coat rocks, today I'm going to talk about whether you should base coat your rocks in the first place. So there really isn't a simple yes or no answer to this, just because there's so many styles of rocks out there that you can get to paint. And there's a lot of different styles and techniques of rock painting that is a factor in this as well. So the first thing that you kind of want to think about is, what are you planning on painting on your rock? And that will be the first question to answer as far as whether you need a base coat for it. So if you're working on a darker stones, like rocks like these that are darker, if you're planning to cover the entire rock with a design, if it's going to be a bright and colorful design, a white base coat might be something you want to do, because it will help your colors pop without having to do layers upon layers of those colors. However, if you're just doing a fun kindness rock and you're just going to add, maybe a couple little designs, but mostly words, you could just do this right on the stone. Now I have another example here. You can get sometimes these lighter stones like this. If it's a lighter stone, I've got quite a few different options here for lighter stones. You can paint right on your rock, because your colors and your designs are just gonna pop right off of those rocks just fine. See, I've got a little painted one here without having a base coat underneath it. So if you've got light colored stones, you can paint right on your stone without adding a base coat on it first. Another example though is, if you're going to have a design that you want the rock to be part of, you can go right on your rock as well. There's no base coat here. So it really depends on the design that you are trying to create with your rock. One reason that you might see base coats on some rocks is, guess what? If you make a mistake when you're drawing right on your rock and you want to cover it up, create a fun little base coat to cover up the first design you did, and then you can do a new design right on top of it. Another thing you can do is, if you really want just that solid color so that it will pop with the design that you're going to do, you can do that as well. I have another example here. I've got one of these. It's funny because I did a whole designs on these, and I found this at the end, bottom of one of my buckets. So I'll show them off here, some trick-or-treat style haunted houses. So a base coat can really work as far as creating the design that you want to accomplish in the end. It can also smooth out a surface. So if you're doing like a pour style base coat, it can make a nice smooth surface that you can then go over with your words and phrases for wonderful word rocks and kindness rocks to hide around town. And same with, like, if you spray paint a base coat, you can get a fun, just plain background for you to do those kindness rocks as well. So I've got lots of different ways that you can base coat your rock if you want to, but really, the main two factors on whether or not you should base coat your rock is, like I said at the beginning, two basic things. One, do you need a base coat to pull off the design or the style of rock that you're trying to paint? And two, is your rock need a base coat in order for you to be able to pull off the design that you are creating? I mean, some rocks are just bumpier, so a base coat can help smooth them out. Some of the stones are just dark, so it's hard to get your painting to really pop off of that kind of dark rock. So these are really the only factors to take into account. A rock never needs a base coat to be painted as a kindness rock. That's the best thing about this hobby, is there's literally no rules whatsoever to what you can and cannot do. It's all about just using your creativity and spreading all this wonderful, fun kindness around where you live. So I hope this answers your question. I will link at the end to five different styles of base coats you can do if you are trying to base coat your rocks. And we'll be back soon with another rock painting tutorial. If you have any questions you'd like to have answered in one of these styles of videos, please leave them in the comments below and I will try to get to them as soon as possible. Bye-bye.